just call me that.
Happy week starts at televiewers, and we're sorry for the late start of the program. You are on to your very bilingual television program, The Brief, which is dedicated to the review of striking headlines in the papers. On today's edition of the paper, we are talking about, or the program rather, we are talking about the Regional House of Assembly, the southwest region of the country, which apparently is in trouble, as you will be hearing in the papers. Let's go find out what the French newspapers have for their readers this morning with Audrey Zatsa. Good morning, Audrey.
Good morning, Lasha Kingsley. Bonjour à vos fidèles téléspectateurs. Allons tout de suite droit au but. On commence avec Réalité Plus ce matin qui parle du don offerte par la famille du Minat pour la Tanganji qui offre, n'est-ce pas, une église moderne aux chrétiens des Foulanes. C'est à Ebolova. Donc on poursuit avec le journal Horizon Plus qui parle également du don de 300 millions de francs CFA offert par le ministre des Transports publics Ernest Ngale Bibei qui a justement offert ce chèque-là à quelques communes. On parle justement des communes bénéficiaires qui sont par exemple Kongsamba et des Premier Ngaoundéré et bien d'autres encore. Poursuivons avec Émergence dans sa livraison du jour et qui dresse de façon exhaustive le bilan des scandales financiers sous l'ère de Biya et dont les derniers cas en date sont la Cannes 2019 et le Covid-19. Terminons donc avec le journal des Express qui parle, n'est-ce pas, de la sortie du ministre de la Communication, porte-parole du gouvernement, René-Emmanuel Sadi, qui s'est justement prononcé le vendredi 28 mai dernier pour la première fois sur les soupçons de détournement d'argent public destiné à la lutte contre la redoutable pandémie. Dans son communiqué, donc, René-Emmanuel Sadi confirme que sur les bases des rapports des instances de contrôle de gestion telles que la Chambre des comptes de la Cour suprême, la Cour suprême, le président de la République Paul Biya a instruit des enquêtes judiciaires au tribunal criminel spécial à Yaoundé. Le porte-parole du gouvernement dénonce également ou alors attire l'attention des médias au respect, n'est-ce pas, au respect de la présomption d'innocence concernant justement les ministères qui sont cités dans la lutte contre, ou alors dans le Covid-Gate comme on l'appelle désormais. Voilà, mesdames, messieurs, pour les tabloïds en langue française. Place à toi, Lasha Kingsley.
Thank you, Audrey. Let's kickstart with the Voice newspaper this morning. The Voice newspaper, which is of course interested in the recent outing of the Minister of Communication, who doubles as government spokesperson relating to COVID-19 gate in the country. IMF prop writes the Voice newspaper may come firefights media onslaught on indicted officials. The Minister of Communication cautioned journalists in Yaoundé to respect a presumption of innocence, talking about the ministers who have been cited in the list of those being investigated for alleged embezzlement and mismanagement of the COVID-19 funds that were put at the disposal of the government of Cameroon by the International Monetary Fund to fight COVID-19. Let's talk about what is happening in the southwest region of the country. We are talking about the Regional Assembly Chief Bako's Cameroon calling fierce outing, writes the Voice newspaper. Controversy-packed response of Southwest Regional Assembly president, we are told by the Voice newspaper, which is relaying the recent release issued by the Southwest Regional Assembly president, thus banning all media outing of his voice. More details in this edition of the Voice newspaper. The Voice is equally interested in the Bamenda Babaju stretch of road. The paper, in one of its major headlines, writes, Babaju Bamenda Bush Road. Here comes the special status. House of Chiefs in charge. That's what the Voice newspaper is asking this morning. Let's leave the Voice newspaper. We are with the Guardian Post, which is also interested in the fight at the hand of the Southwest Regional Assembly. Government's divide and rule strategy sets Southwest Regional Assembly on fire. President bans outspoken House of Chiefs leader from further exposing emptiness of the much parroted institution as part of special status. We stay with the Guardian Post newspaper to talk about IMF pledges to support CELAC countries transform economies. This, according to the newspaper, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has pledged to support member countries of the Central African Economic and Monetary Community, CELAC, diversify, industrialize, and strengthen their economies. You can get more details about the recent outing of the outgoing countries representative of the International Monetary Fund in Cameroon. That was on Friday. He made the declaration on Friday as his stay in Cameroon came to an end. We continue with the Post newspaper. The Post this morning is also interested in COVID-Gate. Biya to choose ministers to be arrested in COVID-Gate scandal. How Biya had publicly humiliated judiciary by ordering release of minister arrested without his authorization. The paper went ahead to say our judicial investigation may likely lead to cabinet reshuffle in the country. Some journalists in the country turn into defense lawyers for accused ministers in the COVID-19 gate scandal in the country. Let's end with the Horizon newspaper talking about the Anglophone crisis this morning. Expert says infrastructure alone cannot buy peace. Paul N. Simon, who has worked for 2 decades on conflict-affected countries in East, Central, and West Africa, recommends organization of donors or pledging conference after parties engaged in the crisis have been convinced to de-escalate the ongoing situation in the Northwest and Southwest regions of Cameroon. Thank you for watching televiewers. We are back in the studio to continue with our discussions, and as usual, it's always our tradition every Monday to have with us the special advisor to the president of MRC political party, Professor Maurice Kamto. We are welcoming Evangelist MUTAGHA SYLVANUS. Good morning, sir, and welcome once again.
Good morning, Mr. Lasha Kingsley, and good morning to your co-host, Audrey Zatsa. Good morning to the millions of televiewers of My Media Prime TV. Let me start by saying that the Anglophone crisis, the war going on in the Northwest and Southwest region, is a cash printing machine. Why do I say it's a cash printing machine? I want to tell you that if investigations are duly carried out, you find that some state ministers are eating fat in that crisis. Why not of members of parliaments and other elites of the Northwest region? That's why you see that it's a war that has been going on for over 4 to 5 years, and nobody is willing to talk hard and talk tough about it. We can really imagine what is happening with the funds of the COVID-19, that we find that there are rumors that some members of parliament are involved in the inflation of prices of the different items that were supposed to be bought to fight against COVID-19. Mr. Lasha Kingsley, is regrettable, but that is how Cameroon functions, especially under the regime of Mr. Biya.
Let's kick-start with the Guardian Post newspaper. This morning, the paper is interested in what it terms government divide and rule strategy setting Southwest Regional Assembly on fire. We saw a release recently, which is of course being relayed by the Guardian Post newspaper, of the the Southwest Regional Assembly President banning all media outing of his vice, Sir MUTAGHA SYLVANUS.
Elections did not take place in the Northwest and Southwest region in 2020. Let me be frank. These guys were just handpicked. They are CPDM surrogates, and it's regrettable that at this particular juncture they want to tell us that they master the house.
But the vice has been very outspoken, saying that government is not ready to decentralize the country. A reason why probably the Yaoundé regime is not happy with the outspoken vice. Probably had to step in. What the Guardian newspaper is saying this morning. So
I think the vice is just shedding what we call crocodile tears, because those of us of the CRM said in 2020 that elections could not be held in the Northwest and Southwest region owing to the fact that the Anglophone crisis is still ongoing. There are thousands of refugees in Nigeria, and then we have millions of them that are still hiding in bushes, and internally displaced persons are there languishing in poverty. And we are talking of the Regional House of Assembly. I wonder what this house will be serving in a desert land, because
they are a politician. You should have a master of the constitution and know the rules of the assembly, because that comes to complete the 1996 constitution of Cameroon, which says, of course, Cameroon is a 10 states or decentralized regions.
Mr. Lasha Kingsley, we are gone past the 1996 constitution. Remember, it's just a continuation of the 1972 constitution that was a fiasco, and most of us said that there was supposed to be like a kind of referendum to discuss on the state, on the form of the state. Presently, we are talking of the decentralization, and we think that it's something that can yield good results for the Northwest and Southwest region. I will tell you that we failed. Presently, I think the government is still in its logics of divide and rule. You know, sometimes when they bring you up in their mafia and they find out you tend to talk on behalf of the people, they will have to do everything possible.
But that assembly is there for the people. They are supposed to work for the interests of the people. If you go through the communique, of course, which has been relayed this morning by the Guardian Post, you discover that the president says the population, that everything has been done to ensure, the well-being of the population. That whatever any other person is saying is not in accordance to what he thinks as the president of the Southwest Regional Assembly.
Mr. Lasha Kingsley, I still repeat that this is a CPDM surrogate. He is just there to protect the interests of the mafia regime in place. Honestly speaking, we know exactly how the regime in place has been functioning, how they have been deceiving Cameroon for over past 38 years. You know what happened with the CAN 2019. That's the AFCON 2019 games. President Pobia went on reassuring Cameroonians that Cameroon would organize the 2019 AFCON game until it was a if that it was the rights were completely withdrawn from Cameroon. So anything from the regime of Mr. Biya can never be authentic. It's just like an April Fool.
Parlons, monsieur, de ce que renseigne le journal des Express ce matin, parlant justement de la sortie du ministre de la Communication, René Emmanuel Sadi, qui appelle, n'est-ce pas, au respect de la présomption d'innocence. Vous pensez quoi déjà de cette sortie-là?
Madame Audrey Zatsa, je suis tellement content quand c'est le ministre de la Communication qui parle de la présomption d'innocence. On se souvient de l'année 2019, ce même ministre fustigeait le professeur Maurice Kamto ainsi que ses sympathisants, et il disait que c'était des hors-la-loi, des brigands, les gens qui veulent déstabiliser la nation. Si aujourd'hui, lui pense qu'il y a la présomption d'innocence, je me réjouis parce qu'il revient peut-être à son bon sens. Il a appris peut-être à travers les coups que les magistrats ont dispensés durant...
Is it because probably he might be implicated in one way or the other that is trying to...
Je vais arriver là-bas. Je pense que les magistrats, les avocats qui défendaient Maurice Kamto avec ses sympathisants en 2019 ont énormément dispensé les coups dans les tribunaux. Mais je reviens dans ce qui est caché dans cette affaire. Vous savez, le RDPC est dans la logique, on vole ensemble et on se défend ensemble. Parce que je me demande qu'est-ce qu'un ministre de communication fait dans la justice, parce qu'il est censé travailler avec l'exécutif. S'il y a présomption d'innocence, s'il faut défendre les...
No, he was cautioning, but he's a journalist.
Oui, je reviens, c'est juste l'intimidation, je reviens à ce que je suis en train de dire. Si les journalistes sont ceux qui doivent éclairer le public, et je pense qu'il est en train de les intimider, de leur dire de ne pas exposer toutes les faits, toutes les vérités cachées derrière ce dossier, parce que lui, il a son intérêt, il peut avoir ses ministres, ses amis qui sont complices dans cette affaire, il faut les protéger pour qu'on prenne, je peux dire, les malheureux, les boucs émissaires, comme on dit souvent. Je vous ai dit, le Fonds monétaire international a demandé un audit indépendant et transparent.
Et si le ministre aujourd'hui se souvient du code de présomption d'innocence, est-ce qu'on peut espérer que ceux qui sont derrière les barreaux aujourd'hui, qui n'ont peut-être leur dossier, il n'y a pas assez de preuves pour les inculper, est-ce qu'on peut espérer qu'ils seront libérés?
Je me demandais si le ministre pouvait, si ce ministre travaillait pour l'intérêt des Camerounais. Amadou Vamou qui fait quoi à la prison centrale de Kondengui? Je parle de Bobo Nissa.
Il n'est pas le ministre de la Justice.
Je reviens parce qu'il parle de présomption d'innocence. Il allait dire depuis longtemps, je pense son prédécesseur, Issa Souleymane allait dire depuis longtemps qu'il y a la présomption d'innocence, parce que j'ai vu les journaux qui ont titré des choses horribles par rapport à ces hommes innocents qui sont en prison, parce qu'ils sont encore sur mandat de dépôt. Certains sont là-bas sur presque 5 ans, 6 ans pour d'autres. Et le jugement est très lent. Qu'est-ce qui veut dire présomption d'innocence? Présomption d'innocence veut dire comparaître libre. Vous quittez de chez vous, vous arrivez au tribunal lors des audiences pour que votre culpabilité soit établie avant qu'on vous mette en prison. Mais quand vous prenez, on vous met en prison sans que votre culpabilité ne soit établie, on ne peut pas vous...
You have to defend yourself that you are not guilty.
Monsieur Lasha, we are saying the same thing, Mr. Lasha. If there is presumption of innocence, what does presumption of innocence mean? There is supposed to be what they call unconditional release. If they find out you are dropped in prison, the charges are nowhere established, you are kept. If you have a fixed residence, if you have people who can guarantee that at any time that they need you in court, you will have to appear. They have to release you, and you only go to court, appear there, have right to defend yourself until your guilt is established with in a fair and transparent court session. Then you can be now transferred to prison.
Monsieur MUTAGHA, vu qu'on court un petit peu sur le temps, parlons du don de la famille Atanganji, l'église catholique de ce côté de Ebolova. D'après vous, pourquoi c'est maintenant qu'il fait ce don, alors que je pense qu'il est cité également dans l'affaire Covid-Gate?
Pourquoi c'est maintenant? On se souvient que quand on grandit, on commence à penser que la mort est proche. Et si on vivait dans le mal, il faut se repentir. Et on revient encore quand on est dans la détresse et qu'on ne voit pas le secours venir des êtres humains, on se ressource de Dieu. On se recourt de Dieu, on sait que c'est Dieu qui peut nous défendre. Mais je vais dire une chose, on ne peut pas acheter Dieu. On ne peut pas acheter Dieu. Si M. Atanganji, que je l'adore parce qu'il est l'animateur du régime en place, c'est lui qui anime, il joue tout le rôle. Si à cette instance, il pense qu'il faut donner un cadeau à l'église catholique, de bonne foi, parce qu'il veut que la foi chrétienne accroître dans notre pays, je pense qu'on ne peut que l'apprécier. Mais je ne pense pas que c'est pour acheter la conscience de l'église catholique. Parce que nous savons que l'église catholique est une église qui est censée porter les doléances du peuple. Ils sont censés défendre le peuple. Mais je pense pas qu'on veut utiliser le ministre Atanganji pour acheter l'église catholique pour être complice dans cette affaire de Covid.
Et beaucoup se demandent d'où viennent les fonds.
It's coming from the family of Atanganji. It's not only Atanganji.
No, I'm just asking.
The wife, even Atanganji, she was equally there. She even the one who championed the
Mr. Lasha, if the church that Mr. Atanganji Minister Atanganji.
The family of Atanganji.
Yes, the family of Atanganji. He inclusive. His family. It is his
on a justement vu certains membres du gouvernement.
He is a leader.
He has a wife, he has children.
Yeah.
So that, what are you talking about?
Mr. Lasha, I don't know.
Why are you guys only attaching it to Atanganji as a person?
He is the head of the family. I still repeat. Many Anglophones have died. And we know that Mr. Atanganji was at the center of those who said the Anglophone crisis don't exist. If today, this gift is to ask for forgiveness to God on behalf of those for those who have died, I think the right people to ask forgiveness are those in the Northwest region and Southwest region. There are many orphanages that are existing. Let Mr. Atanganji go and offer gifts to them. There are many internally displaced.
When you're giving people say what he has given is he's giving oil and savon with buckets. What do you want Mr. Atanganji?
I've simply said if this gift was to help the needy, it would have been better. The Catholic Church has so much money that they don't need churches from individuals. We have orphanages that are existing. We have
billionaire Fosso Victor did that, man. He offered.
Billionaire Fosso Victor did that after he had helped many orphans. He has sponsored many street children. Why would he start first off? It's like you somebody is dying beside you. You have to keep the offering in your pocket that you could give him to buy a tablet you want to go and offer to God. If you cannot help those you see, then you rush to God. The Bible says, I was with you, I was hungry every day, you could not feed me. I was naked, you could not clothe me. I was this, you could not do this. That's exactly what he's doing, because as she said, there are refugees in Nigeria. I've not seen Mr. Atanganji and his family go there to visit them in Nigeria. They are internally displaced. I've not seen them go there to visit them.
When talking about internally displaced, Mr. Atanganji has been moving up and down.
He has been moving up and down on behalf of the government, not on his family's name. We are talking on his family's name because if there's no blessing.
How do you know? How do you ascertain that he's been moving only on behalf of the government?
If he has been doing that on behalf of his family, means the press has been hiding it. Why will the press only portray what he has done to the Catholic Church today?
Thank you, the special advisors to Professor Maurice Kamto. It's always a pleasure having you every Monday to share with us what you think on concerning the major headlines in the papers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Lasha Kingsley. Let me tell Mr. Bia that all those ministers that have stolen our money, let him not try to back them up, because he will be bringing a curse upon his family.
Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow for yet another edition of what the papers must have said. Bye bye for now.